Hello, you're very welcome along to another episode of Track Talk with Olly Murphy. I'm your host, Daniel Hussey, and delighted to welcome Matchbook Ambassador Trainer Olly Murphy. Olly, how are you getting on?
Yeah, good. Thank you very much, Dan.
Cool. Well, listen, Ollie, a lot of Irish people and punters in particular would have seen you recently acquired a horse, bread and butter. Can you tell us a little bit about that and then his run yesterday? Because I thought he ran a cracker.
Yeah, no, listen, he ran a cracker. Obviously, didn't get a lot of luck in running from kind of turning into the last and got going all too late. But yeah, he ran a cracker. Would have been nice to have trained my first winner on Ireland, especially at Punchestown Festival. But listen, wasn't to be, and we'll have to try again next year.
And just with that, like you need a bit of luck and running. It's a horse. It's one of those horses that you do have to hold up there for. You do take that risk sometimes that you
Yeah,
might find trouble running.
he's a horse who likes to be dropped in. He just had beaten horses kind of coming back in his face from three out, which made life difficult. He got swung very wide then turning in, but listen, that's racing. Live to tell the tale, and hopefully there's a nice handicap in him.
And very quickly on Brenbud, you recently acquired this horse from Gavin Cromwell?
Yeah, he was bought privately. He actually went to Helen Markham, a small trainer in Ireland, after Gavin. So yeah, he's been with me about 3 months. So yeah, listen, it was a very pleasing first run. Good bunch of lads owning him, and they had a bit of crack. And yeah, unfortunately, he didn't win, but he ran really well.
And would he be campaigning in the UK next year, or Ireland? Is that to be decided?
Yeah, I don't really know. There's a couple of races for him in Galway, a 2.5 mile handicap and a 2 mile 6 handicap. And there's two valuable-ish races over here in Cartmel Market Raising through the summer. So I'd be inclined to have a go at another good pot somewhere, or certainly a decent handicap. He's still a novice over fence as well. So we'll we've got a few options, and we'll see what the right one will be.
Very good. And the last thing of our review, Thunder Rock ran an absolute cracker. I thought he was the winner all the way out till maybe half a furlong from the line. Talk to us a little bit about that. He must have been proud of his run, but I guess it's just trying to get him over the line in these big races.
Yeah, no, he ran a cracker. Had a very, very busy year. And listen, it was end of a long year for him, albeit he ran very, very well. He's a lovely horse next year. I imagine we'll probably mix it up between hurdles and fences. But yeah, he's had a really good year on the whole, and he'll be rewarded now with a nice long break.
And when you say mixed with hurdles and fences, what's his hurdle rating? Is there a chance of going handicaps there? Or?
Yeah, no, I'd say he'll be going down the graded route. Kind of either direction we go, but he's not over big, and I just don't know an open company next year whether he'll find it hard work jumping a fence, but we'll see. I'd imagine we'll start him off in something like the Old Rowan, and then see where we go from there. He qualifies for those intermediate chases over here, which are worth a lot of money as well. So yeah, we got plenty of options for him. He's had a good year, as I said, and we'll look forward to next season with him.
And then moving on to Huvari in particular, because a lot of Matchbook listeners would have been aware of him based on the other side of the fence, which I thought was a brilliant episode 60. If you haven't seen that already, do check that out on our YouTube channel. But Huvari thought he ran okay in third place and kind of step up in grade. What's the sort of plan for him next season? Is he going to go over a fence?
Yeah, whether we might start him off in something like the good 2.5 mile handicap hurdle in Chepstow, the Tote Gold Silver Trophy, or whether we go jumping fences, I'm not quite sure yet. But yeah, he just never really got in a rhythm round there on good ground. I'd say if we ran the race again, I'd ask Aidan to kind of probably pop out and make the running on him and make more use of him. But we decided to drop him in a little bit and just didn't quite work. But he ran very well in a warm race, and he's going to be a lovely, lovely horse for next year.
And finally, on the review again, Chasing Fire 2. Thought he ran again pretty okay in Cheltenham. It's just that step up. Where do you go to next? Is there any sort of plan similar to
he's going to go jumping a fence now, Dan. I've been really, really disappointed with him now in his last couple of runs, to be honest. I didn't feel he ran his race at all in Cheltenham, and I thought he went through his race very ordinarily in Cheltenham last week. He was very lackluster for a horse who's been doing his running over 2 miles. I thought he went through the race very lazily. Listen, all these horses have a long year, and some can kind of take their last run better than others. But yeah, he certainly hasn't been himself his last couple of runs. I'd like to think he's well handicapped, and yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of jumping up a fence in next year. And I really kind of strongly feel we haven't seen the best of this horse.
Okay, pretty exciting times next season for a number of those horses, Ollie. And then a little bit on some of the entries you have tomorrow. It's going to be a quiet enough weekend for you, but tomorrow you do have 5 horses I count here, and the Wolf is the one that stands out to me.
Yeah, he's in good form. Listen, very hard to win with him.
Mm.
I retained the visor that he had on the last day at Ludlow, but smallish field, kind of down in grade again. Looking forward to running him. He deserves to win a race this year. He's kind of knocked on the door in a few nice races. So looking forward to running him. Hopefully a bit of Scottish air will do him good. And yeah, he looks to have a nice each way chance.
And your other runner in Perth there, Resplendent, Gray.
Yeah, lovely horse. The reason I'm actually trying to get another run into him now is because he obviously won his maiden hurdle in March, and he's going to lose his novice status in November. So plan is to get another run tomorrow. The rain will have to come in order for him to run. But I thought he might be a horse to then have a break and potentially come back for a Persian War in Chepstow in October. Big raw horse, won his bumper, won his maiden hurdle, and he's got to give Fergal O'Brien's horse a lot of weight tomorrow. But I think he's a well above average type.
Okay, very good. And then last thing on tomorrow's runners, you run 3 at Subtle. Anyone with a decent chance?
Yeah, I think the 3 of them now will need a small miracle to be winning, albeit Fabrique on France will wait for his conditions than he has in his last couple of runs. He's in good form. He's tumbling down the weights, and if he reproduces his run from Utoxeter at the start of the year, he's got an each way chance. But Ripperoo and Fletch, been off a long time and will need his run, and Ripperoo's been extremely disappointing since coming back from an injury.
And then Ollie, on a review as a whole of the season, how do you kind of view it? So you're currently on around 79 winners, so we'll probably finish in around 80, early 80s. Would you have had a target at the start of the year, and then do you have to reassess? And then finally, you seem to have been hitting a lot of crossbars, or maybe it's just me over the last 2 or 3 weeks, seconds and thirds that on another day could have been winners, and that could be all the difference at the end of the season.
Yeah, no, 100%. Listen, I've had a good year without having an exceptional year. A lot of nice young horses seem to be coming through the system for next year, which is really pleasing. As you said, yeah, we've hit the crossbar an awful lot this year, which is frustrating. You know, even yesterday in Punchtown, like Thunder Rock in a Grade 2, Strong Leader flying home in a Grade 1, bits and bobs like that. Now, if 1 or 2 of them click, all of a sudden you end up having a fantastic year. You know, but yeah, we've had a good year. Listen, nice to get up to 80 winners, if possible, in the next day or two. Still building this team and squad of horses, if you like, for the future. And listen, I think the future looks bright. We'll try and get off to a good start now in May, and get the ball rolling early for next season.
And yeah, you've been a number of exciting horses for next year. We've been through some of them. Any horses, bumper horses? There was one horse you had, and forgive me, I've forgotten the name, that was entered in the Punchestown bumper that I think is owned by your dad. Is there a plan for him going into next season? Or?
He's a 4-year-old that it's called Jackpot Dana. He's actually for sale. He wasn't quite ready to run, but we have a nice team of bumper horse for next year. Lovely team of novice hurdlers, obviously probably led by Indiva Blue.
Yeah.
Some lovely fillies have run well in bumpers this year. Little Miss Dante was a good winner. Floating Line run very well in the bumper. Sal Carlos has won a bumper at Christmas and has subsequently been bought by John Hales, Jed Mason, and Sir Alex Ferguson. John Divers, so that's a nice partnership to have in the yards. So yeah, listen, lots to look forward to. I'm in a lucky position, and hopefully there might be a star amongst them.
Very good, yeah. Obviously, Ferguson and the team have teamed up with some brilliant horses. And finally, Ollie, I digress as an Arsenal fan to get you to take the floor in Aston Villa and Unai Emery up to 5th in the Premier League table there yesterday. Absolutely incredible stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, no, he's done a remarkable job, hasn't he? We actually, myself and Harry Skelton and a few others, went down to the Villa on Tuesday night, and yeah, remarkable what they're doing. Their last couple of performances have probably been below par as well. Hopefully, they're not gonna blow up, but yeah, we'll keep soldiering on. We've got some big games coming up. We've still got Brighton and Tottenham to play at Villa Park, so there'll be tight games. And listen, if we can get a European spot, it'd be a phenomenal feat for a manager who only came in at Christmas.
Yeah, fascinating, that battle for European football. Ollie, thanks, Mil, for joining us. We'll chat to you soon.
Thanks, lads. Cheers.